Hello everybody and welcome back to our Moneyball series with Paris FC. Yes, we're going to do the final episode of the season today. We're going to be concluding the season. We're going to do a end of season stats review, which is going to be interesting, and go through all that kind of stuff there. It's going to be quite a long episode, this one, so is the next one. Then the next episode, we're going to go through our recruitment process for the summer. That's going to include me exporting data using a spreadsheet and all that kind of stuff. So the next two episodes are going to be quite in-depth, quite long, I would expect, in chapters, though, for you, so you can look at the bits you want and skip the things you want to if you do want to skip parts. And if you do want to watch all of it, then thank you very much for watching the entirety of the episodes. Right, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming into it. Now, these two episodes are going to come out back-to-back, either Sunday, Monday, could be Monday, Tuesday, it could be Sunday, Tuesday, but the next two episodes are going to come out within the next 3 days from when I'm recording this on Saturday evening at this point. So we're going to definitely have a look at this back to back and go through everything. It's just a matter of how long does it take me to do, because I've got to put together the whole spreadsheet again. I've got to do quite a few things that's going to take a while. I'm going to have to make custom views, I think, for the squad, which is also going to take quite a long time. I might consult FM Stag on some of his custom views, but I'm probably going to have to do it myself. So, what is in play for today? The league title is in play, promotion's in play, but we could get it confirmed in the first game. So, like I said at the end of the last episode, what I'm going to do for the Rodez game, I'll show you the team I'm going to play, and then you'll join me in the last 20 minutes of the game, because if we win, we could technically get promoted depending on other results as well. And then we'll probably skip through to the Dijon game. I think if we get promoted there, we'll probably skip that game and go straight to the Dijon game, because then it'll be a race for the title, and yeah, that game won't decide it, but these two could. So that's going to be your sort of like plan for this episode, and then we'll do our end of season stats review, do a deep dive into the stats and all that fun stuff. So let's see the team then. The team's going to be, and Ndai's out, so Sammy is going to go in. We'll do a bit of that as well, and then Cabal is, oh dear, both left wing backs are out. That's not great. So Lafort goes wing back. Do we do that? I guess we do that, right? And then it's going to be Kante goes in. I mean, that's not a great back three, to be honest with you. And I think that team should get us through it. And to be honest with you, I'm quite impressed with the goalkeeper of the two signings. We're not going to talk too much about them because there's only two of them. But the fact that Mpassi's come in and got a 6.98 average rating, and to have cost us, what was he again? How much did he cost us? 50 grand, and we sold the first choice keeper for 500 grand. What a signing that was. I love Mpassi. Wait, has he played for his country now since he's been here? Or did he have that cap already? I'm not entirely sure, you know. But in any case, he's actually improved playing for us. There you go, legend. Okay, you're going to join me then at the end of the Rodez game. I'll see you in a second, and we'll see how we're getting on. See if we can get promoted to Liga 1. Do you know what? I'm honestly so excited. I cannot wait to play against PSG for the first time. I just can't wait for it. I'm absolutely anticipating and relishing that rivalry. One thing I have to acknowledge before I forget is that the new thumbnail that you can see was done by Samaggio. So if you don't follow Samaggio, I'll put his link to his YouTube and his Twitch in the description. Sai is a fellow FM content creator, mainly does Twitch, but he's starting to do more YouTube stuff. And basically, we were just talking one day about my Moneyball series, and he just said, let me make you a thumbnail for it. And, said you don't have to use it, etc. And, bless him, I must have knocked back about 20 different versions of it until we got it perfect. And what you can see now, for those of us that have been involved in the series so far, you'll notice that the shirt that he's wearing is pink, and that's obviously a nod to the pink kit in the series, but the text is blue and white, everything else is blue and white, so it's a really, really lovely thumbnail from somebody in the FM community to have made for me, Go give him a sub on YouTube and wait out for his new series that he's got coming up, so. And aside from the fact that he offered to do it, I actually quite like it as well. It fits really well into the series. He really did a good job of it, and I appreciate him for it. And with that being said, let's get into the rest of the episode. We're playing against Rodez, and let's get promoted. Come on, Paris. Okay, so there was actually nothing to show you in this game, because not only did we lose, Dijon won, so there was definitely no prospect of us getting promoted in this game. So we'll just move straight on to the next one, but a little disappointing, but there we are. Okay, then here we go. The game against FCSM. This is it. We could get promoted here in this game right now. We play against FCSM. Dijon play against, who are they playing against? Dijon, you got Nimes at home. Nimes, don't know what they're called, but anyway, they're away to them, and then we play against them. So, and they've got Le Havre. Oh, I mean, if I was a betting person on this, I would say that we should get promoted. We could still win the title, if they can get a result against Le Havre, but we'll see what happens anyway. So your team for today's game then, in the potential promotion winning game, is going to be Mpassi in goal, Lafort, Dabila and Ndai across the back with Hadjam and Kofi at wing backs, Coffee, Benawa, Piri at CDM or pivot, because some people don't like that term, FM Stag. And then it's going to be Chihiri, Morgan and Mesa up front. Come on, Paris, let's do it. Let's get ourselves into Liga 1 and let's take it to PSG next season. Tom, the new Gen assistant manager, says, it's important to make full use of home advantage. Go out there and get a result. Thank you, Tom. I agree with that. They are deploying a flat 4-4-2, which I think I've said before we should match up well against, and I think we did not win the game when I last said that. So we'll see. Piri wins it off of their central midfielder, goes through, looks to play it into Hadjam, goes wide, goes back inside a little bit, goes through, shoots on his weaker right foot. What are you doing, Hadjam? Another highlight here within 5 minutes. Another highlight. Sissoko nearly back-to-back loses the ball and gives us a highlight. It's going to be theirs, you'd think now. We aren't great at home, are we? It's a really weird foot manager team, this, our Moneyball team, because we seem to drop points at home on the regular, and we're pretty good away from home, which is really unusual. I don't like that, though, because I think long-term, eventually, you can just start dropping points away, and you keep then dropping points at home. That's never a good thing, is it? As Piri gets the ball here, Dabila whacks it into nobody. Well, Jahiri somehow gets to it. Morgan's through, shoots, keeper saves it. Probably should have been a goal, Morgan. Let's be honest about it. Free kick's whipped into the back post. Another highlight within 10 minutes here. Morgan's got it. It's a 3 versus 1. Get it away, lads. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Counter quickly. Stay onside, make a run. Oh, what was he doing? Okay, that was not executed very well, was it? Let's be honest. That was pretty poor from the boys. Ndai gets it into Piri. Piri now into Kofi. Coffee plays it back to Ndai, to Banawa. Doesn't quite get it to Mesa. They're going to play out from the back against us now. Sissoko plays them behind. They could be in here. They're not. And Dai gets it back. Quite scrappy from both sides. Can we execute an attack now? You've got options there. Morgan gets onto it in a great position. Goes through. Too far to score. Yes, it is. Hajam throws this into Morgan. Morgan takes a few touches. Plays it to the goalkeeper. Let's spread out now, lads. Can we get out here and out there? And then you can take the space. There should be loads of space in if you did get on. If we'd have spread out properly, it took a bit too late for the wing-back to get there. He's gone back to the goalkeeper. Not quite sure I agree with that, but it's okay. Lafort gets it. Takes touches. Now in there. There's 2 versus 0. Oh, come on. Hajam gets it, whacks in the far post. Mesa lets it run. It goes up to Kofi, and it's just wide. We are 3 points behind the half, aren't we? So we need them to lose for us to have a chance at the title now. They're going to go through an attack potentially. They get to the left-hand side. Don't concede a penalty there and die. What are we doing? Absolutely diving in. Mesa now has it, runs away with it. Plays into Coffee. Coffee into Piri. Piri goes through. He's going to get it. Yes, Morgan. Come on. There it is. 1 for Paris. Okay, we'll say things are going well. Hajam's going to cut off, going to throw on Kip out left wing back. I'm going to take off, I think, Coffee as well. And throw on Carl's back at right wing back. As we trigger a highlight, maybe it's a real highlight, not quite sure. I think it is. But we'll see. We'll let it play out anyway. We'll commentate over it just in case. They have the ball left hand side. They're going to get into a 3 versus 2 in our favour. Don't get sent off. That was close. Right, we've gone defensive. We have done everything we can possibly do to try and see out the game and get ourselves promoted. Right, let's actually see what the scores are. We know Le Havre are winning currently. And how are Dijon getting on? Dijon are actually playing right now, so we can't get through it today until we find out the result. So, late set piece for FCSM goes far post, headed towards goal, and it's... No! They've scored! They've scored the last kick of the game almost, and it's going to be 1-1. Oh, I don't believe it. It's a draw. Yet again, we drop points at home. That is making it really close for promotion. Like, we play Dijon away. Oh, no. Like, don't forget, we play Dijon away next. Oh, come on, please tell me they drop points. Here we go then. Dijon versus Nîmes. How do they get on? They Jordan. Oh, yes, come on. The dream's alive again. We needed that. Because if we lose to them now, we still stay ahead by 1 point. So it sort of gives us a bit of breathing space still. Right. Okay, I'll see you in 3 days for the game against Dijon. This is getting tense. Okay, before I forget, the one thing that I actually did do off camera is I've actually signed Marvel for next season. Now, the reason is, the money that we had left in the transfer budget, there's no guarantee that would have carried over anyway. So, because we could get him now for next season, I just got him anyway. So, we're going to have Marvel, because we did spend time looking at him. I did put it in the video that we looked at him. We just didn't get him in the end, did we? So, at least now we are going to actually get him for next season, which is going to be nice. And will he be a starter in Ligue 1? Probably not, but he's a left-footed centre-back. And we don't know, maybe he turns out right. But anyway... He comes in and he'll be one of our back 3, or at least he'll be in the squad as one of our members of our back 3 next season. In terms of this game then, so Kofi is out, suspended. That's the first bit of bad news. Everything else is roughly the same. I'm going to make sure that Gory's back in the starting 11 for this one. And this is huge. If we lose, it goes down to the last game of the season. The only thing that makes me a little more calm than usual is the fact that they do have to play Le Havre. But I think the title's gone. It's just a case of can we get promoted now, really. Assistant manager says... 1 more point for promotion. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, obviously, if we win or draw, we are up. So that's what we need to do. All we need to do is draw away from home. Luckily for us, that is something we're very good at. I just wish we were in our pink kit, don't you? Right now. I just wish that we were. Anyway, Samir plays into Piri into Carl's back, who's not a wing back, plays it into Gory, goes through 1v1. Is he going to score from there? He does! Yes, come on, Paris! Paris, here we go. What an opportunity. 1-0 early on. That should put us in a great position because don't forget, a draw is good enough. We just need a draw. That's all we need. And we work it on the right-hand side. Our wingback, who's not a wingback, plays it in behind. What a touch from Gory. Takes the second one to slot it in. 1-0. Come on. I'll take that now. No more highlights match engine. Oh, no. Samir into Carl's back. I mean, what could do us in here? An early red card could, I think, make us lose 2-1. I feel like that, if we go into 10 men, all they need is one goal, get another one late, and game over. But if we don't get a red card, we should be okay here. Because I think we can draw the game. Because we don't need. If we needed to win, I'd be maybe a little more undecided. But I just think we should be okay for a draw. Okay, throw in for them. They play it into Silver. They're going to retain it across the back. They could have a 2v1. No, well done, striker. Put a bit of pressure on. We get to it easily. Sammy doesn't give away a penalty. Good lad. Piri has it. Takes on a play, gives it to Carl's back, who's going backwards to Samir. Okay, Samir into Benawa. Benawa to Samir, who's got time and space, travels with it, plays a great ball into Piri. Great ball into Gory. Hits the post. It was close, though. Okay, we'll say things go well. Instant highlight after halftime. That is interesting. Trailray into Silver. Silver has it. Takes some touches on the right-hand side. Cuts back to Trailray. Plays it straight into Lahadjam, who's going to whack it long. Morgan doesn't go for it, though. And they're going to go to the keeper. Plays a risky one in there. They rotate to the left-hand side. Left winger for them now has the ball. Crosses it into the box. Shot towards goal. Nowhere near. They're going to keep the ball still. Goes into the right-hand side. Played across goal. It's going to be a goal. Is it? No. What defending? And it's a penalty. Carl's back, who's not a wing-back, gives it away. It's going to be potentially 1-1. Here it comes. Pi scores. 1-1. Highlight here. And pass it to Lefort. Lefort's going to travel with it. He's going to hopefully release this. He's gone in the air. A bit unnecessarily, in my view. It goes up now to their left back. They take some touches with it. Play it into Pi. Pi travels with it, loses it. Piri has it. Piri still plays it into Chihiri. Chihiri goes through. Shoots. Keeper saves it. Okay, I've just taken Benawa off, but I think this highlight is going to happen before that sub is made. It is. Benawa has it. Plays into Lefort. Plays it back to the goalkeeper, which I don't really understand there. But, okay, pass. Come this way then. Come this way, lads. Okay, don't go this way. Lefort. Okay, now can we? No, where are you going? Come out here. Gives out to Carlsbach, who, I mean, you're a 6'4" winger, mate. Get yourself in there. Asale isn't getting to that. He's not getting to that one either. Dabila has it, has time and space. Travels with it, plays a poor pass into the striker. In fact, I might take him off as well. And just put on and die. Oh my goodness, as Asale goes through, he is tackled. He's going to stay on it, though. They're going to get another chance. They play it into the box, and it's a goal. Oh no, it's calamitous. It's 2-1. Okay, we have gone 4-2-4. This is it. We need a goal. We desperately need a goal. Right, there's a highlight here. It started off quite deep in our half. They're not quite sure it's going to be 4. Is it going to be a red card highlight? It's not yet. Lefort heads it away to Lopez. Right, Lopez whacks it clear. Morgan, get up for it. Oh, Morgan, come on. Pathetic. Asale's in. Should have scored. Last 5 minutes in added time. There's no more highlights still since the last one. A minute left. That's it. We've lost. We're 1 point ahead with 1 game to go. I'm going to say disappointed, yeah. Le Havre crown champions, and we're 1 point clear with going in with 1 game to go. There's no playoff, right? It's either we go up, we stay down. It's coming down to 1 game left. I can't believe it's done this. Right, I'll see you in 7 days. This is the most tense I've been in a long time on camera, I think. I just cannot fathom a situation where we don't actually go up in the end. I'll see you in 7 days. Right, here we are then. Last game of the season. We just need to match or better Dijon's result. The good news is they play against Le Havre. The bad news is if they do get the win, I don't know if I can guarantee we're going to win after this disgrace of the last 3 games. So, FC Annecy, I hope that you're playing for nothing and we're at home, which, I mean, normally you'd say that's a good thing. Fans behind you. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but that isn't how it goes for us. Right, so your final team of the first season, the Moneyball save, is as follows. Mpassi in goal, Ndai, Dabila and Sami across the back. Hadjam and Coffee at wing-backs. Benawa, Piri and Chihiri in the middle, with Morgan and Gory up front. Come on, Paris, let's do it. Assistant manager, I'm taking duties off of you. We're going to say, do it for the fans. One last performance to cheer for. There it is, there's our team. What are they going to play? Don't play 4-4-2. Oh, that's not great. If they score the first goal, we're probably not going to win. So, right, can we make sure the later scores, everything's ready to go? Where are Le Havre's? Where's Le Havre and Dijon? Is it high up? It's next. It's okay, it's there. So we can see their result quite easily before ours. We know what our own score is anyway. Wow, this is tense. I don't know what to think about this at home right now, but I tell you what, where are they? Oh, that was a goal early on there. Come on, Le Havre, get the win. I mean, even a draw's okay, because if we lose, it goes down to goal difference, and if we lose by 1, we're still okay. I think we're 2 goals ahead on goal difference. Yeah, if they draw and we lose, we should be okay unless we get battered. So there is still that, of course. But now has it, plays into Gory. Gory goes through, shoots. Oh, and he's at the bar. That was so close. There's a highlight for them. They throw it into the box. It's headed away. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, the only first-team player that's out is Lafort, the left centre-back. Everybody else is a first-choice player. And I was actually considering dropping Dabila and playing Ndai, because what I was going to say was, they're both very close. Let's look at win percentage. And Ndai's win percentage is like 64%, and Dabila's is 56%. So I was going to base it on that. Shiri goes through. Yes, come on, Paris. Come on, the Moneyball system. What a goal, 1-0. But we did go 1-0 up last game, and we still didn't win. So let's not get carried away. But it isn't a goal. It's an important goal. And as long as the half don't let us down and get, spanked themselves, yeah, 1-0. It's still 0-0. By the way, I did say that, depending on how many we concede by, but obviously it means... I did say, by the way, on the goal difference, that it matters how many we lose by, but obviously it could matter how much they win by, but I'm just assuming they're not going to win by more than 1, maybe 2, but they shouldn't be winning 3 or 4s against Le Havre. I'm just assuming that if they're going to win, it's by 1 goal, because they're away to the team that's top of the league. That was close. Don't let the performance drop. Let's say that to the boys. Well, their score's actually vanished now. I have to scroll down. Oh, they've scored! Le Havre have actually scored! Yes! Le Havre have got themselves a goal up against Dijon. Come on. I'm not going to make too many changes unless I have to, because I don't really trust the subs after the last few games. And Morgan's really gone off the ball at the complete wrong time for us. Don't be a goal now, please, FC Annecy. They're time wasting. Have they given up? Do they not want to get back in the game? That's fine with me. Let's just go on your holidays, lads. Oh, no. I think Coffee can come off. And, I mean, Carlsberg gave away a penalty. No, do you know what? I'm not doing that after what happened last time. Do you know what? I'm not changing it. There's a few players who aren't playing great, but it's the subs coming on that I don't trust even more. Maybe I could bring on Cabal for Chihiri, but he scored. So, Morgan's in. Oh, they're headed back to the goalkeeper. They're going to go long. It's whoever gets the second ball. Can we make sure we get to the second? Lads, drop off now. He's not going to go short, is he? They're not even getting short, lads. What are we doing here? Right. Can we get to it? Coffee heads it back into the middle. Chihiri doesn't quite get there. This could be their highlight. No way, referee. You're a disgrace, ref. Absolute disgrace to football. We need to make sure we don't lose, I think. If we draw, it's okay. I've just put time wasting. That's all I've done so far. And they're going to get a free kick. They whip it in. It's headed away. They play it across. They're going to get shot away. And they score from about 105 yards out. It's 1-1. And Dijon have equalised. Oh, no. Right, I've just put on Mesa up front, and I've also put on Cyril at right CDM. I hope that's enough to see out the game. I really do. I'm honestly so concerned. It's another highlight. It's another highlight. It's going to be for Annecy. It's going to be so tight. Gene gets it. Is he going to lose it? He's not. They're going to keep the ball. They're going to keep the ball. It's going to be their highlight. Can we see it out? Can we see it out? It's headed away. Cabal, does he get to it? No. They're going to get an attack from this. Baldé's in. Keeper saves it. Oh my Christ, what are we doing? I'm going back to attacking. It's another set piece. What are we doing? It's got to the far post, headed towards goal. What a save from Umpassi. And it goes through again. Far post, headed away. Get to it. Please get to that Cabal. Oh, there's another highlight immediately after. Hadjam with a throw. Throws it into Mesa. Get up, Mesa. Headed towards the keeper. Get back now, lads. Start dropping. Only one striker, please. Shadow striker, start dropping, please. A lot quicker than that. Right, we've got the same amount of players in this area. Oh, no. Not there, though. Uh-oh. This isn't good. This isn't good. Can we head that away? We do just. Hadjam's got it. He's got a shadow strike. If he uses him, Cabal's got it. Just shoot. Mesa's in. The Moneyball sign in. And he's missed it, Jeff. Le Havre and Dijon still 1-1. It's ticking through. And we've done it. I think we've done it. I think we've been promoted through the skin of our teeth. Congratulations, everybody. I tell you what, that took a lot of character of the boys to get... yeah, we did. We got promoted. Oh, my Christ. I tell you what, I was concerned that we might concede. Now, that wouldn't have necessarily put us out. If we had conceded, we would have gone to 73 points and 36 goal difference. But Dijon were drawing. So if Dijon would have scored, they would have won and gone above us on points. That was... wow. To say that was a close finish would be an understatement. And I'm pretty sure some of you watching thought that that was a foregone conclusion. And it was not. So there you go. At least there's drama in the Moneyball save. There always is. I mean, those of you that were with me through the Barnsley one last year and the Boston one on Twitch and the Munich one, but the Boston in particular, there's always drama in these series. It's always got drama. And wow, we got promoted. We did it. We did get promoted. Wow. I mean, what is that for a transfer budget? Are you joking me, Pierre? Pierre Ferracci, what are we doing here? What am I supposed to do with that? Like, come on. I know it's a Moneyball save, but come on now. We're just taking the piss here. Fans are in jubilant mood. Yep. No, thank you. One of the best managers around. Thank you very much. Unexpected promotion. Yep. I mean, send assistant to that. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just absolutely incredible. I was concerned multiple different times in that game. The red cards is just standard, isn't it? Moneyball saves and red cards at terrible moments are just par for the course. Sometimes they're good moments as well, though, so there you go. Okay, I'll see you in a second, then we'll go through the end of season review, and then let's do a deep dive into the stats, both team stats and player stats. Okay, before we get to the end of season review, we've got a few awards to look at here. So Morgan managed to get the Liga 2 Player of the Season awards, which is good for him. Team of the Season, we had Morgan and Dabila, and that was it, really. Patrick Coffey got third in the assist competition. Morgan got top goal scorer, of course, he did because he's legends. Here we go, then. End of season review, the new arrivals. Obviously, we're only going to look at 2 players here, or 3 actually, because the rest of them were actually players that the club had already signed before we started the save. But Mesa, they've given us a B for, which is pretty good. He had 5 starts, 14 sub appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist, at average rating of 7.06. Passy, they gave us a C. He had 20 appearances. I mean, goals and assists don't really count for the goalkeeper, but he had an average rating of 6.88. And then the lone player, B+. And then the lone player, Carlsbach, had 1 start for 11 sub appearances. No goals, 4 assists, though. Average rating of 6.77 and a B+ for him. This season's results, I mean, we did pretty good at the start, didn't we? Look at that. Very good start to the season. And it sort of, I mean, that last 4 games really wasn't good, was it? It wasn't a good end to the season. And 74 points is all right. It's not great, to be fair. And but I mean, 11 draws. We've got a lot of draws, only 6 defeats. Our home form was just so poor, which has to be improved for next season. But yeah, what a results in the end for us to get promoted. That was the only thing that we wanted to do, wasn't it? The bare minimum for this season was try and get promoted if we could. If we got promoted, it doesn't matter how we got promoted as long as we did. And 74 points does the job for us. Moments to remember, big 5-1 victory against them away. This goal actually was at the start of this episode, but off camera. It was against Rodez, and Lafort scored an absolute screamer. It was straight at the goalkeeper, really, but it was from quite far out. Finances, obviously, will go up. But Morgan, Mesa, Hamill, Gory, and Lanz have all sold a lot of shirts. How we lined up, that's pretty close to the first team. I'd say it actually is the first team, although Morgan and Gory the wrong way round there. Here we go, the most important part of it, in my opinion, here, the accolades. So the fans player of the season was Morgan. The young player of the season was Hadjam. Signing of the season was Mesa, which is good. That was one of ours. Goal of the season, the Fort. Top goal scorer was Morgan. Most assists was Coffee. Most player of the match awards was Morgan. Highest average rating was Morgan. And passes completed per 90 was Dabila. Some records broken there, mostly by Morgan, but some others there as well. And yeah, history in the making. We were brilliant. Thank you very much. And this doesn't mean too much just yet, but there you go, promoted. There you have it. That was our end of season review. Supporters profile update. We have got more fair weather supporters, less hardcore supporters. Our social media following has grown by 34,000. So there you go. I mean, I'm not really sure about all of this, but I'm just going to accept it anyway. Team meeting then. Let's say congratulations and stay up. I think it's going to be the theme of it. I'm going to say with right additions, we can avoid the drop. That'll do. Insist, positive, neutral, positive. Brilliant. Some people have asked me, how do you keep the data for the previous seasons? And for me, it's pretty simple. What I do here is I'll just make sure now the season's ended, right? I'm going to save the game here. And now I'm going to make a separate save game file. So it's Paris FC. I'm just going to put literally season 1. I'm just going to save it there as season 1. And then I'm going to save back over the previous save game file, which is Paris FC. So now, no matter what happens, I can always go back to this point and see all the data from season 1. Whenever I want to. It's not the most ideal way of doing it, but it's a guaranteed way of doing it and keeping the save file, right? So that's how I do it, and it's the easiest way for me to track it if I need to go back for whatever reason. Okay, let's start with some team stats, I reckon. So average possession, we're almost banging the table for average possession. The top goal scorers per game. XG4, non-penalty XG4 was 71. That was quite high compared to the next nearest team. Non-penalty XG per 91.8, that's pretty good. I mean, Le Havre had 11 penalties. It's absolutely rigged here. But we still managed to get ourselves promoted despite Le Havre getting it handed to them on a plate. Cross completion 15%. The most crosses 4. I'm just looking for things that stand out for us for going into like next season. So we're by far the most attacking team in terms of chances created and goals scored. Like shots forward, an extra 100 shots. The next nearest team, pretty much. Shots on target was quite high. Dribbles per game we were second on. Final third passes, we were 4th. Interesting. Expected goals against. So we gave up a lot of chances. We were 7th. We had the 7th worst defensive record effectively there, which is really poor considering we finished seconds. We committed the most fouls by about 120 odds. Tackle 1 ratio, we're quite poor on that. We were quite aggressive in trying to get tackles. So I'm going to assume that it's our amount of tackles attempted, which is why the completion is so low. Possessions, we're top of the list for that, which is pretty good. I mean, Dijon, who were in the race for promotion with us, were nearly near the bottom. So quite a big difference between the two styles of football there. We were top of the opposition passes per defensive action, or OPPDA, or PPDA, depending on which stat you want to use. That's pretty good. So that means every defensive action they managed to do, we managed to get a lot of pressure on them and keep it down to 3.46, whereas other teams had to let them do a lot more. And final third passes against, we were top of the list. So we managed to keep the opposition out from making passes within our final third the best in the whole league. So although we're poor defensively, it was most likely more about getting played in behind on the counter and overcommitting players a little bit, because it means that when we were sort of set a little bit, they weren't committing too many passes in the final third, probably getting played through 1v1 quite often and that kind of stuff, right? Net transfer spend, we were 15th out of 20. It's pretty good. And our wages, we were the 7th highest spender in wages, half of Dijon, and we still got promoted. So this is going to be a reoccurring theme looking at this page quite a lot as the years go on. The gap between us and PSG next year is going to be just unreal. So yeah, I can't wait to look at that. Okay, let's take a look at the data hub. We don't really look at this too much in the Barnsley series last year, but we'll look at it more this year, I think, and we'll just pick out some random stuff to look at. The first thing we'll look at is the XG table, which we can look at on a different page, actually. But yeah, so there, what you can see is sort of what we looked at a second ago, right? Le Havre actually weren't that dominant in any real like statistical category. Le Havre weren't dominating really anywhere, and as you can see, like their expected points, they were 14 points above where they were supposed to be. So that shows just how much they overachieved and just had like a really good season. And going back to what I said a second ago, the reason why I think our tackle completion ratio was so low is because our tackles attempted was so high, and this graph shows it to you right here. It shows that this grey like hexagon thing here, that's the league average, and the blue one is ours. So you can see here that our amount of tackles per game is way more than the league average, which is quite a big difference in the two there. Yeah, so as you can see, that's something that computes with what I guessed, and it seems to be correct. So the reason why tackle ratio is so low is we tackle more, and the more tackles you do, eventually you're going to start to lose some as you go. Pitch tilt, so this is final third passes for versus final third passes against, and we spoke about this, that we were really good at stopping teams getting the final third passes against us. We weren't quite perfect going forwards, we were really good against it. And as you can see here, Paris FC are in the good box here. Fewest passes against and lots of passes in the final third, so we're sort of top of the list along with Dijon over here, who incidentally were 2 of the top 3 teams. In fact, where are Le Havre? So Le Havre are there, which again, I think if you look at all the stats here, you would assume that Le Havre were the team that finished 3rd or 4th, not Dijon. I mean, these graphs are going to be really good for like scouting as well for players that are in your own league. So we'll look at this probably loads going forwards. And this is probably where if you've got the full detail set to the league, this would really help. But like Bernau and our players here weren't really the most accurate for progressive passes. So they had a high number of progressive passes, but inaccurate passing is what we've got here. And that does compute because we're quite a direct, high-tempo team when it gets like past that sort of first line of the playing. We can play out as a team, but then we're very, very aggressive, especially at right CDM, the right CDM position, right, which is where a lot of our players play at least at some point. So none of our players are in the green, which is accurate passing and a high number of progressive passes completed. So, I mean, you could start to look at this and look for some of these lads to try and bring in for next year if we were in the same division, but we're not. We've gone up. This is quite an interesting one. So expected attacking output forwards. So high non-penalty expected goals with high quality creative open play. And Morgan is at the top of this. There's only one other striker who doesn't play for us. This guy's come up a few times, Facundo Barcello, don't know how to pronounce his name. But most of our strikers are in this list, which is really, really good. And yeah, non-penalty XG is really high because we created really good chances. We created a lot of chances and we created a lot of high expected goals chances as well from open play, which is good. Okay, let's move away from the data hub now and look at our own players' stats. Okay, I've sorted it by win percentage just to see what would come up. And we're going to ignore the first, I think, 4 players because they all played cup matches only. So they played against much lesser opposition in the cup matches. So they can all go. So everybody that's highlighted there, you can sort of ignore. Probably the bottom 2 as well. And we'll leave it like, and the Theo as well. So everybody highlighted, you can just ignore. Everybody else though, so the highest player is Ndai. Ndai had a 63% win percentage and played mostly in the first team for us in the, like league matches, which is quite high. Hamel had 58, Gory 58, Coffee 57. Somebody asked me this at some point in the comments saying, could I pick a team based on like win percentage to decide a team? Eventually, yeah. Like if you've got a really close team, like if we've got, let's say in 10 years time into the save, we've got two squads that are almost identical, and there's two left backs or two left wing backs, and we don't really know the difference between the two. And one just happens to have a 5% higher win ratio than the other, and the stats are really close. Maybe we do just go with like win percentage. But obviously, win percentage is a very loose one to go off of. Team goals conceded per 90, team goals scored per 90 are quite good ones as well. We will start to use those starting next season when I start to put together custom views for just defenders, just attackers, just midfielders, because then we can see like all their defensive stats in one view rather than this. This one's the main view where you get a bit of everything, but enough of everything as well. So it's still quite in depth. Like you can see how good they are in the air. You can see how creative they are. You can see how good they are in front of goal. You can see how good they are defensively, all in this one view. So it does give us quite a good view, but there's still a couple of things like if I had a whole defensive view, I would have team goals conceded per 90. And there's a few other ones as well that I'd like to throw in if it was just a defensive view, for example. So yeah, quite interesting. Who's at the bottom then? Piri. Piri's got a 49% win ratio. That's pretty poor. And Pass's got 50. Mace 53, Morgan 53. They played quite a lot of games though, so that's quite interesting. Morgan ended up with 29 goals scored in the end. What a player for the majority of the season. Those last 4 or 5 matches though, he was really, really poor and concerned me a little bit, but we got up in the end, so all's well that ends well, as we've said before on the series. So if we look at the strikers then, the 4 strikers, let's see their stats here. So shot on target ratio, by far it goes to Mesa, who's our new signing, with Morgan second. Hamill's by far the worst. Conversion percentage goes to Morgan by quite a distance. Non-penalty XG per 90 goes to Morgan, which is pretty good. From a creative standpoint, Ruben Mesa, open play key passes per 90, 2.14. Interesting for a striker, that's quite good. Really good, actually. High intensity sprints per 90 goes to Mesa. Interesting. Hamill second, and Hamill is not the quickest, so there you go. Our 2 number 10s here. So we have got open play key passes per 90 goes to Cabal with 1.59. Progressive passes per 90 goes to Cabal as well. Dribbles per 90 goes to Cabal. Chances created per 90 goes to Cabal just by 0.01. Cross completion goes to Cabal. Tackle ratio goes to Chihiri. But remember, when we looked at these two players, I don't know, maybe 4 episodes ago, Chihiri was ahead of Cabal in every department, and it's now sort of flipped a little bit. Tackles per 90 goes to Cabal. Tackle 1 ratio is the same. Yeah, it's interesting. Header 1 per 90 goes to Chihiri just. Well, actually not just, by a little bit. Sprints per 90. Cabal was quite high, but Cabal did play wing-back a lot of the time, don't forget. So maybe that skews his results a bit. He did start to play wing-back quite a lot in the second half of the season whenever Hadjam was out, so that probably does mess it up a little. Okay, in terms of pivot midfield players then, let's have a look at this. Open play key passes per 90 goes to Piri with Benawa pretty close. Chances created per 90 goes to Piri. Progressive passes per 90 goes to Benawa. That's interesting. That's pretty good. Dribbles per 90 goes to Piri. Tackle 1 ratio goes to Benawa. Tackles per 90 goes to Piri, which he's on the right-hand side. He should do it, to be fair. Interceptions per 90 goes to Piri. Header 1 ratio goes to Benawa. And sprints per 90 goes to Piri, but he probably should do because he's got more space in front of him. And yeah, interesting. Win percentage goes to Benawa, and he was really effective. Okay, let's look at wing backs. I did just record this bit, but it actually froze the camera. Luckily, the rest of the recording was all right, but this little bit did freeze. So, looking at Coffee and Hadjam, then I'm only going to look at these two because there wasn't really any other player that played wing back for the majority of the season. So, I'm just going to look at these two. So, let's go through all of this here. So, open play key passes. Hadjam has 2.48. Coffee has 1.93, so that goes to Hadjam. Crosses completed per 90 goes to Hadjam with 0.75. Progressive passes per 90 goes to Hadjam with 6.39. Dribbles per 90 goes to Hadjam, 2.37. Crosses completed per 90 goes to Hadjam, 1.94. Crosses completed per 90 goes to Hadjam, 17. Tackle ratio goes to 88% to Hadjam. Tackles 1 per 90 is exactly the same. Blocks per 90 goes to Hadjam. Interceptions per 90 goes to Hadjam. Pressures completed finally goes to Coffee. There's one that goes to Coffee. Header 1 ratio goes to Coffee, but it's really close. And then everything else is pretty much the same all the way through there. Now, what's really impressive there is even though Hadjam beats Coffee in nearly every single department, it's still pretty close. And Coffee has 2 more assists than Hadjam does. But look at the difference in average rating. You've got Hadjam with an average rating of 6.96 and Coffee with a 6.77. Now, what that shows is over the course of a season, just having those little statistical categories going in your favour, just little by little in each game, over the course of the season, that adds up a lot. And that can affect your average rating and your output to the team quite a lot. It shows having like a 5% better statistical return on each category makes a huge difference over the course of the season. That's what that shows me, because I'd say they're both pretty good for a wing back in our system. I think statistically they're both very, very good, but one clearly is better than the other when you look at it closely. And Hadjan's been absolutely brilliant, so fair play to him. Okay, then centre backs. Let's go progressive passes down. So progressive passes, Lafort has way more with 6.16, and the lowest is Ndiaye on 4.75. Dribbles per 90. I don't think I've ever seen that high dribbles per 90 for a centre back. Maybe I have, and I've just forgotten. But 3.37 seems extremely high. Cross completion, Sam with 18%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tackle 1 ratio then, 83% for Samir, that's pretty good. And Ndiaye 76, Dabila 72, Jordan 73. Now, what I found is when you have like a middle centre-back in a back three, they always tend to have a worse tackle-win ratio. Even though you'd expect it to maybe be the side ones, because they're going out wide, having to engage in wide areas 1v1 a lot, it doesn't end up that way in FM a lot. So Lafort 73 is the most worrying of all of those, I would say. Tackles per 90 goes to Samir. Blocks per 90 goes to Dabila. Interceptions per 90 goes to Samir. Pressures completed, I don't really care about that one as much. Header 1 ratio, 82% good, 87% excellent, 65% awful, 75% really concerning. And sprints per 90, Samir's got 10.19, that's quite impressive. And so's Lafort's. Now, they are both the side centre-backs on the back three, right? So that says that they are doing quite a lot of movement up and down the pitch to me, which is good. That's supposed to be what they're doing there. And win percentage goes to Ndiaye on 63%. That's interesting. The other three had all pretty much the same win ratio. They played the same matches, I suppose. That's why. Right, okay. I think that is going to do the end of the episode, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and make a bunch of custom views based on things like this. Right, I'm going to make like a custom view based on the stats here, but for the squad view. And then we're going to start looking at players for next season. Obviously, this will get changed as well, as we've got our new budget, which is all good. I mean, the budget's just terrible, isn't it? I don't know what to do yet. Like, even if I did want to sell a load of players to sort of generate money to invest in the first team, who'd you sell? That's going to get you a load of money in Hadjam. Like, if I can find a really good replacement for Hadjam for left wing back, I probably would do it, because like 3.5 million would just be incredible for us. And we're going to lose Piri as well, and he's on 13 grand a week, which is quite a lot of wages compared to the rest of the squad when you look at it like that. So that could be a lot of money coming in, but yeah, I'll go through all of that, I think, in the next episode in terms of like who exactly we're going to lose. I'm not planning on getting rid of too many players, but obviously we've got the goalkeeper here is retiring. He can just move to the B team for now. We've already got him leaving. The loan players' contracts will be up. That's quite a few loan players. But I mean, yeah. So there's going to be a lot of, I don't know, there's going to be a lot of moving around. Pierre's got interest in him. I probably would let Pierre go as well. Try and generate some sort of funds. The best thing for us to do is look for transfer listed players, because they're going to be quite significantly devalued. But, you know, they need to have been first team players from the year before for them to have stats for us to look at and to purchase, right? So it's going to be quite a difficult, I think, transfer window for us to get some players. That's a really low transfer budget. If you get promoted to the Premier League in England, your transfer budget is nearly always on that 20 million mark, right? And we've got £1 million to spend. Like, just, yeah, it's not great, is it? Projection is to be 3.97 million in debt. Just, you know, what are the debts again? There's no debts, is there? Like, there's hardly any debt. It's just mind-boggling, but that's where we're at anyway. Hopefully the board just getting happy and sell the club. That would be the most ideal scenario for us, but anyway, that is going to do the episode. Thank you so much to all of you for watching, being part of this series. I absolutely love this Moneyball series. It is my most favourite thing to do in the world at the moment. Just doing the whole Moneyball concept is something that I love so much, and I'm so pleased that so many of you love it as well, and I'm just so happy to be able to bring this to you whenever possible. But yeah, all I can say is a huge thank you from me. I cannot wait to get into the next episode where we can show you the custom views. I can show you my spreadsheet and how we're going to go about recruiting players for next season and then beyond that as well. But that is going to do the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.